Let me be the one to collect it. Watch for opportunity and strike at its heart.
Strike well!
Seems to have faith, Dogma. Fighting is not all time.
Taking the initiative, I'll let you know.
You're not friends. I recommend it.
I shall suck at such a place. We are all masters of mermaids under no others.
Enemy movements have grown sluggish.
We must make the most of this opportunity.
I shall lead the charge.
Brilliant. I thought I'd met my end. Thanks to you, Arisen.
Poison ought to be cured with all due haste.
Materials such as this can be combined to craft things.
Different combinations of materials result in different creations.
Yon statue makes for a fine landmark.
What say, we mark it in our minds as a place of interest. Might there be aught over there?
Let us ponder how best to proceed.
I'm no cook,
Just
am I?
another day, same as the one.
Not much going on.
Seems I hear naught but grim tidings of late. Would you be willing to lend me your aid? You've my thanks.
Can't help but talk in a whisper when I'm here. Time to be heading. I'm in at ease here. I end up feeling weary.
Don't feel safe here.
Pray slow your feet! You run too fast for the likes of me!
No time to catch your breath. Try to keep up.
At last! I thought we'd never find one.
At least all our efforts weren't for naught.
Huh. I'll have to remember to tell my own master about this.
Our adventure continues.
Off we go then.
A new day, a new perspective. Mayhap you'll think this a trifle, but one master I served was quite the carefree soul, shunning armor in all its forms.
I'll be sure to keep
Seems we've enemies in our midst.
it safe.
Douse the blaze before it's too late.
I hope you weren't expecting mercy.
What's the hurry?
With this, my magics are yours to wield.
That battle took more out of me than I would have liked.
We've got overconfidence in our abilities. It's a painful reminder that fortune doesn't always favour us.
It's a pleasure to serve you, Master. You would gather materials here, Master? Can we really afford to carry more?
I seem to recall there being a treasure chest in this area when I explored it in other worlds. Shall I lead the way?
We've little need for a campsite at present.
I understand the inclination arisen. Camping is one of life's simple pleasures after all.
The foremost priority for all Galvan's place. A common reward, frustratingly so.
We'll find a use for it, I'm sure.
Methinks we could move this boulder if we work together.
I say we give it a push and see what happens.
Gather these now. It would be a shame to forget their location when we need them most. There's no debilitation a curative cannot mend.
You've my thanks. Here, figured you'd...
time we pressed on, wouldn't you say, Master? Yeah, skin for it.
This ox cart's bound. I'll not take you anywhere till I've had my due.
These faces have grown mightily familiar.
That explains the harmony betwixt us.
To open it.
Not all chests contain treasure, you know.
A gift of fire! Mind you don't burn your fingers. What a view. I'd not say no to a short repose hereabouts.
Perhaps we might... take a moment to savour the scene.
Indeed, you are correct. Freshly rested as we are, this battle is in our favor.
Try not to get hit, lest all that vim go to waste.
This brute has quite the temper.
Reckless opponent takes the threat.
Understood. Without the flame, before this defeat. Our chances of victory are slim. The British hasty retreat.
I'm not sure what to tell you.
Leave it to me. Magic!
You're gonna regret that.
I've just recalled. I found a treasure chest near here during my travels beyond the rift. May I show you to its location? Allow me to lead the way. I should like to put my knowledge to good use.
Well, if you insist. I'm only glad I don't have to lead the way for a change.
Pray, follow me. We have arrived. I suppose we might as well gather what we can. Now, what might that be?
Let us ponder how best to proceed.
Come, I'll lead the way. You watch where you're going. You'll hurt yourself one of these days.
Oh, don't mind me. That's the spirit!
Perhaps you'd like to take care of
Strike with fire's fury!
Here we go again.
I don't suppose begging for a reprieve would get us far with one of this lot.
I am well aware of it.
Someone saw fit to camp here, it would seem.
Better to rest while we're here than lament our weariness later.
Is there any way to climb up there? Either means of getting over there, Arisen. Shall I assist?
though. Methinks the fiend felt that. Perhaps a few more for good measure.
You can count on me to fly to your aid in your hour of need, Master.
I knew that I could count upon your strength, Arisen.
Power of lightning!
An obstacle blocks our way. Perhaps we might remove it by force.
Ranged attacks are my specialty, Master. Shall I assist?
That's quite a large boulder, but methinks 'twill budge if we combine it.
Push is what's needed here.
Dare I say it?
Yeah, I'm sure there's still room for improvement.
I am attentive and loyal, and prefer to remain by your side. In battle, I shall follow your lead and prioritize support.
You're like to grow overburdened if you keep picking up every little trinket you find.
Most impressive. I'll be sure to tell my master of your genius solution, Arisen. I know precisely when a curative is needed.
Let me get that. Isn't commonly rare, this. I look forward to informing my own master of its finding when I return beyond the rift. Tis rather high. It might be beyond our reach.
I've a means of getting over there, Arisen. Shall I assist?
A different path would serve us better now. I'll lead the way.
My nose tells me there's aught close by. I'll have a look.
He's hoping we find something worth the trouble.
Should it please you, Master, I've a mage skill that could make short work of our predicament. Shall I assist?
Orient, Master!
Ice will be most effective against this foe.
With this, my magics are yours to wield.
Foremost priority is to douse those flames.
last, a chance to use this. Prod me if you must, Master, but...
Pray, follow me.
This material is just what we need to better our equipment.
We ought to be wary of misplacing it.
Now that is a surprise. Danger might lurk anywhere. Wear every shadow and mind the ceiling.
Pray. Speak up should you notice or to miss.
Really now? You mustn't shirk your duty, lest you forget 'tis the Arisen we serve here.
I don't know about you, Master, but I'm worn out. Mightn't we have a rest before pressing on?
Isn't it about time we had ourselves a meal? Oh, what I wouldn't give for a bowl of hot stew.
A forgotten rift stone we've not discovered lies nearby. 'Tis this way, as I recall, from my last sojourn beyond the rift.
Flesh wound. I can handle that. Hold just a moment. What is it, Master? You don't look as if you need my help. Is there any way to climb up there? I'm not sure what we'll find, but it might be something useful. I've a means of getting over there, Arisen. Shall I assist? You would gather materials here, Master? Can we really afford to carry more? Curious how a fine meal makes your eyelids heavy. But not your stomach.
We have found a material.
Different combinations of materials result in different creations.
I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself.
Decisions.
What are we tarrying for? Onward, I say!
Master, it would be prudent to rid yourself of any excess items.
Let's see. What can we do without?
I'm
An ogre? Just like that!
We have no means of exploiting our enemy's weakness.
Isn't much of an adventure if all we do is make camp.
Let us return once we've grown tired from our labors.
Well met, sir. How might I be of service? Do come again. Well met, sir. How might I be of service?
Mayhap I ought to be getting home.
Okay, not a moment's rest.
This village is our home.
For bread and board, you'll find none better. Glad to be of service, sir.
Can't do much on an empty stomach.
Puts me at ease. Sets my thoughts down dark paths.
Performance like mine requires no ostentation.
Well met, sir.
I end up feeling weary.
It's been a hard day. Fancy a look at my wares?
Another
Some
day
call it
over.
culture. I call it dull.
Hoping for a decent haul.
I've got to keep my spirits up somehow.
I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the matter at hand. Perhaps we should have a more knowledgeable pawn join our party.
Well met, sir. How... might I be of service? Do come again. Well met, sir. How might I be of service?
Nothing caught your eye? That's a shame. Let's hope there's aught worth our coin next time.
Browsing was enough to scratch the itch, in my case.
Heard of any ways to make...
I don't know a thing about that quest, so I can't guide you. You could try to hire a pawn with the information we need.
Aye. Sigurd, you're the current Arisen, aren't you? I pray you do not walk the same path as I have. 'Tis a style all my own, a patchwork of techniques, honed for the sole purpose of slaying the dragon. Sigurd, you're the current Arisen, aren't you? Aye. For so long as we are united in our resolve to slay the dragon, you shall have my aid.
I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the matter at hand. Perhaps we should have a more knowledgeable pawn join our party.
I'll harvest what I can, should it please you.
It's been a hard day. Can't help but talking over.
I enjoy tackling fierce foes.
Little enough gold to spend it is. Well met. Looking to me. Make a purchase. Hope to see you again. This is all.
I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the matter at hand. Perhaps we should have a more knowledgeable pawn join our party.
What brings you here?
Ought you needing me?
suppose there can be no harm in bringing this along.
We'll find a use for it, I'm sure.
'Tis here we will begin everything anew. Our village, our lives. Where does the road call you? Do tell.
Fancy a look at my wares?
I suppose we might as well gather what we can.
I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the matter at hand. Perhaps we should have a more knowledgeable pawn join our party.
All I say is true.
Another day over.
I end up feeling weary even after a day of rest.
Regrettably, I am not equipped with the knowledge to guide you on that quest. You shall have to hire a pawn who is. We seem to have arrived without issue. But are we safe here?
As long as you please. When does my walk?
A crime committed here will see one confined to jail.
As I understand it, the pay of a jailer is miserable for all their toil.
Then we'd best keep some coin on hand to ease our potential warders' suffering. And make them an ally to our cause. The sight of yon ox cart has brought all my fatigue to the fore. Shall we climb aboard?
One hopes these carts offer comfort commensurate to their costs.
This ox cart's bound for Mel. I'll need to see some coin before I let you on.
It falls on me to resolve this.
My bed calls.
If this is where
Fine.
Freshly rested as we are, this battle ought to be
try not to get hit, lest all that room go to waste.
Now, there's a novel idea. I've never seen my own master attempt such a feat.
Unbelievable.
We'll pull through yet.
Not all here.
Well met. Fulminous shield, eh? 'Tis a bargain, I reckon. I picked it up in Melve after the dragon attacked. Can't speak for its contents, but it certainly looks valuable. Hope to see you again.
'Tis most exhilarating to hand over such a sum.
These were necessary expenses, mind. No use clinging to every last coin.
The creature's corpse will serve us well.
Be sure to aim true.
A forgotten riftstone we've not discovered lies nearby. 'Tis this way, as I recall from my last sojourn beyond the rift. I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the matter at hand. Perhaps we should have a more knowledgeable pawn join our party.
I see a ladder yonder, but we can't reach it from here. We'll have to get up there and drop it down.
You would gather materials here, Master? Can we really afford to carry more? What is it, Master? You don't look as if you need my help. Here you are, Master. I hope you like it. I found it myself. I know precisely when a curate...
I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the matter at hand. Perhaps we should have a more knowledgeable pawn join our party.